Hi, it's Morgan and welcome to the Dove's Nest. In today's video, I'm taking you along with me as I travel to the Scholastic book sale. Now I want to preface this video. I've never been to a Scholastic book sale before, and the first time I heard about it was the year that my son was born, and I heard about it roughly a week or so before he was born, and I was super interested, but I ended up getting busy with work, and I just wasn't able to go. However, I knew I was going to be homeschooling, I knew there were books that I wanted, and so I started to save my money in hopes that there would be a book sale the following year. So as it happened, there was, and I didn't make it. I was kind of just not thinking about it, and I didn't go. And then last year, my daughter was actually in the hospital having open heart surgery during the Scholastic book sale, so I didn't go again. As I mentioned, I knew I was going to be homeschooling, and I knew there were not just a book or two here, but there were entire series of books that I was hoping to get. Now, I'm a little naive as far as books and homeschooling, whatever, and I don't really remember anything about Scholastic books when I was little, except that they had everything. I mean, any book you could want, you got it in your Scholastic catalog at school, and you could order it. So that's kind of what I was hoping was going to be the case this time. So anyway, I was so excited. I got my ticket. I went on the very first day, and I will be sure to insert footage of me sort of walking around. It was a day that my son was at preschool, and so I had, a little bit easier time shopping around. My daughter, I just strapped in the baby carrier and she passed out, and so I was able to get some shopping done. So I'm going to insert the footage of me sort of walking around the sale in case you've never been. I'm not sure what it's like in your area, but you can see how it was here in Southern California. And then after that footage, I will do a haul and talk about the sale and my thoughts and show you what I got. Okay, so we're here. They've got the music playing. To be honest, I am completely overwhelmed. Like, there are so many books. And the trouble is, it's really hard to see anything. Because as you can see, they have all of the books just in boxes and they're laying on their sides. So I'm literally having to go through every individual box and pull out a book to even see what it is. And there's no organizing as far as children's books or, adult books or fiction or nonfiction. Baby's asleep. I have about an hour to shop. And to be honest, I'm just so overwhelmed. So I'm gonna keep looking. I found some good things. This is really exciting. Okay, so I just finished up at the sale. I got a few things. It wasn't what I expected it to be. But let's go home and I'll talk about it and show you my haul. So as you can see, it was super overwhelming. I mean, that's literally the one word I would describe. It was a warehouse, like Costco warehouse, but there was absolutely no order or organization to anything. And I kept asking the people who were working there, sort of if there was even like a fiction and nonfiction section, or like a young adult and a juvenile section. And they just said, no, it's all kind of, thrown together by SKU number, but the SKUs aren't even organized, whether by author, last name, or book title, or genre of book. Maybe these ones are like Christmas books or Halloween books, stuff like holiday books and, history books. There was just no organization. And then you can see that all of the books were still in boxes, but those boxes were lying down. And so if I wanted to see any book that was in a box, I had to pull out a book, look at it, and then put it back. And so it seemed like a lot of work and a lot of chaos and a lot of books with no organization. And so I kind of felt really defeated shopping. But I had my list and I knew what I wanted. And so I'll tell you beforehand, I was hoping to find the entire If You Lived series. And now that's a series of, juvenile literature about American history. If you lived during the time of the Mayflower, if you lived during the time of the American Revolution, it's all sort of revolutionary, pre-colonial, and early American history books. So I wanted all of those. I also wanted the entire series of Who HQ books. Now those, some people call the big head books, but it's the who was Benjamin Franklin, who was Amelia Earhart, what is, you know, the Eiffel Tower, or where is the Eiffel Tower, where is Machu Picchu, you know, all of these sort of historical and biographical books, but put in really fun form for young kids. So I wanted that whole series. And I didn't know that these weren't Scholastic books. I didn't realize Scholastic was like its own publisher, but I was hoping to get the entire book series of Math Start books. And there were a couple of other series that I was just hoping to get, as well as any popular children's picture books, or sort of, you must have this picture book in your library children's books. So those are kinds of the things that I went into the sale looking for. And not only was it such chaos, but I feel like the entire sale was Christmas books. And it was there was a lot of twaddle, if you've heard that term, that Charlotte Mason term, twaddle. Character books, you know, Mickey, PJ Masks, all of those sorts of things where they kind of just throw a little story together just so a kid will buy the book. Which I guess is better than your child not reading at all, but it's not the literature that I was hoping to find. But again, cookbooks, Christmas books, there was all kinds of Bibles. Every kind of children's Bible that you can imagine they had. Now in years past, our Scholastic sale, I think one year was 80% off and one year was 70% off. Again, I'm not sure what it was the one year where I just didn't care. This year it was buy one, get one free. So it was an okay sale. I mean, roughly 50% off, you know, 2 books is what that comes out to. But it wasn't as good of a sale. I felt as though I could find the books cheaper on Amazon or even at Walmart. And a few books that I saw at the sale, I actually did pick up my phone and look at the price on Walmart and Amazon, and they in fact were cheaper than at the sale, even with the 50% off. So that was something to keep in mind. And yeah, I just don't think I'll be going back. I mean, it was cool and it was a nice experience, but it's not something that I will be doing again. With all that said, here is what I got. So the first book that I got is called Love Letters from God, Bible Stories for a Girl's Heart. And this one was just, it was so sweet. I have since found out that they have one for boys, and so I plan on getting that one as well. So for example, here's a story, The First Girl, and it's a story about Eve. And it talks about God's words for you, and it's, I have made you, with the scripture, and then here's your little letter. And it sort of just summarizes the story and kind of just gives you a message that God would have your daughter know. So then there's Miriam, you know, Hannah, there's all the girls in the Bible, and I just thought this was so cute. So I will be really glad to be adding that to our church bag for my daughter. The next book I got was She Persisted Around the World. Now I haven't read the first one of these, the She Persisted, but they didn't have that one. They only had this one. So 13 Women Who Changed History. You can never go wrong with a girl power book. So I thought that one would be great. I also got this Christmas in the Barn. We do love Christmas children's books. We like to read one every night in December leading up to Christmas. And so this one just seemed really sweet. I had to, of course, get this one. Mama Built a Little Nest, about a mama bird and the things that she finds and her journey that she takes to build a nest for her little birds. And of course, because we're the Dove's Nest, I had to grab that one. Next, my son's very most favorite book right now is Goodnight, Goodnight Construction Site. He's actually got the entire book memorized, with the exception of, I can't even remember what tractor machine it is, but with the exception of the last one, he's got the whole book memorized. And so I found this sequel, Mighty Mighty Construction Site. So this is going to be fun. He's going to be so excited to have this. And then his other favorite book, as well as my daughter's favorite book that we recently checked out from the library for our Colored Red theme, was Llama Llama Red Pajama. And so I found Llama Llama Loves to Read, because we love to read in our homeschool. And so I thought this one would be a really fun addition to our homeschool library. And then I was able to find 3 of the Who HQ books, and that was it. Out of all of the books, I went in there, specifically to find. I was only able to find 3 of this series. And so I got What Were the Twin Towers, Where is the Taj Mahal, and Where is Easter Island. And I'm particularly excited about these 2. Next year, for pre-K, we are doing a whole year geography unit study of the continents. And I'm making continent boxes for each of those, and so we're gonna have some fun adding this to our South America box as well as our Asia box. And so those little fun fact books, and they are, like I said, they are probably too old and too advanced for my pre-K child, but we're gonna have those boxes forever and probably just keep adding to them. So those will just be fun little things to keep in those boxes. So anyway, that was my experience with the Scholastic book sale. If you've never been, I encourage you to go and at least see what it's all about. See what you can find. Let me know. Was your sale more organized? Was everything displayed, you know, beautifully on shelves, or was it kind of all just, you know, torn apart? I really was shocked at sort of what a mess it was, considering I went at noon on the very first day of the sale. So it's not like everything was picked over. They just didn't really try. So anyway, that's all for today. As always, if you're interested in joining us in our homeschool journey, be sure to click that subscribe button below, and I will see you in my next video.